As we age, our bodies change, and so should the way we eat. If you're 50 or older, certain foods that you might have enjoyed for years could actually be doing more harm than good now. Our metabolism slows down, leading to easier weight gain and difficulty losing weight. And while weight increases, muscle mass and bone density begin to decrease, which can weaken strength and increase the risk of osteoporosis. This is when bones become easily fractured. Additionally, the immune system may weaken, making you more susceptible to infections, while the risk of chronic conditions such as heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and arthritis also increases. In this video, we're uncovering 9 foods you should avoid after hitting 50 to keep your body feeling its best. These are foods that might surprise you. Some are common choices we all make, but they can affect things like heart health, bone density, and even your waistline. We're talking about items you may have in your kitchen right now. Whether you want to stay active, maintain a healthy weight, or just feel your best, knowing what to leave off your plate is key. So stick around to find out which foods to cut back on after 50. You might be surprised by what's on the list. So without any further ado, let's get started. Number 1. Sugary foods and beverages. The first things you should steer away from after the age of 50 are sugary foods and beverages. This is because sugary foods and drinks like soda, candy, and pastries contribute to weight gain and consequently increase the risk of type 2 diabetes. Diabetes is known to accelerate the aging process by promoting inflammation and insulin resistance. Furthermore, as metabolism slows down with age, the excess sugar eaten is converted by the body to fat. This can lead to fat accumulation, particularly around the abdomen, increasing the risk of heart disease. As you can see, high sugar intake is linked to a higher risk of heart disease, cognitive decline, and weakened immune function. A study published in JAMA Internal Medicine in 2014 investigated the association between added sugar intake and death due to heart disease. The researchers analyzed data from the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey involving over 31,000 adults. They examined the participants' dietary intake of added sugars and tracked their health outcomes over 14.6 years. It was found that participants who consumed 17 to 21% of their daily calories from added sugar had a 38% higher risk of dying from heart disease compared to those who consumed less than 10% of calories from added sugar. Moreover, those who consumed more than 21% of their daily calories from added sugar had more than double the risk of heart disease death. Number 2. Processed meats. It might be hard to give up delicious, mouth-watering foods such as bacon, sausages, hot dogs, and deli meats. However, these processed meats are high in sodium, unhealthy fats, and preservatives like nitrates and nitrites. All these compounds have been associated with an increased risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, and certain types of cancer, particularly colorectal cancer, which involves the colon and the rectum. In 2015, the International Agency for Research on Cancer, part of the World Health Organization, classified processed meats as a Group 1 carcinogen. This was after reviewing over 800 studies that investigated the association between processed meat consumption and cancer risk, focusing on colorectal cancer. Additionally, it was revealed that consuming 50 grams of processed meat daily increases the risk of colorectal cancer by 18%. Number 3. Refined carbohydrates. Have you ever wondered what makes refined carbohydrates refined? Refined carbohydrates, including white bread, pasta, and pastries, are stripped of their fiber and nutrients. When eaten, this can lead to rapid spikes in blood sugar and insulin levels. Over time, the pancreas will be exhausted and stop producing and releasing insulin, causing insulin resistance. To make matters worse, insulin resistance predisposes and contributes to numerous negative health conditions such as type 2 diabetes and weight gain, especially around the abdomen. Similar to having too much sugary foods and beverages, this can contribute to heart disease. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2010 explored the impact of refined carbohydrates on weight gain and the risk of type 2 diabetes. The study followed over 85,000 women for 20 years. Results showed that women who consumed diets high in refined carbohydrates had a 21% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those with lower intake. The study also linked refined carb consumption to greater weight gain over time. Number 4. Fried foods. It is no secret that fried foods have detrimental impacts on one's health. This is owing to the high amounts of unhealthy trans fats and calories found in fried foods. You should avoid fried foods unless you want to gain unhealthy weight, elevate your cholesterol levels, and inflammation. Trans fats, in particular, are linked to an increased risk of heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. In the British Medical Journal in 2019, a study was published examining the association between fried food consumption and mortality risk. The study analyzed data from over 100,000 postmenopausal women, tracking their dietary habits and health outcomes over 18 years. The study found that women who consumed fried foods daily had an 8% higher risk of all-cause mortality and an 8% higher risk of death from heart disease compared to those who didn't consume fried foods. Before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 5. Alcohol. While moderate alcohol consumption may have some health benefits, excessive alcohol intake can lead to a variety of health problems. This can involve liver damage, high blood pressure, and an increased risk of certain cancers. Not only that, but overconsumption of alcohol can also lead to cognitive decline and increased risk of accidents and injuries due to impaired coordination and judgment. The issue here isn't with the alcohol itself, but with the toxic byproducts formed from alcohol after ingestion. As the body ages, it breaks down alcohol more slowly, so the toxic compounds formed accumulate in the blood. As the harmful effects of alcohol are potentiated, the effect of alcohol on health was studied in 2018. It was concluded that any level of alcohol consumption increases the risk of health issues. It found that for individuals aged 50 and older, alcohol accounted for 5.3% of all deaths worldwide and was associated with an increased risk of cancers, liver disease, and cardiovascular conditions. Number 6. High sodium foods. Sadly, as we age, all our body organs also age with us. This includes the kidney. The main function of the kidneys is to filter blood and throw the substances in excess into the urine. However, due to aging, the efficiency of the kidneys decreases. Consequently, the kidneys become less efficient at removing sodium from the blood. So eating foods high in sodium, such as canned soups, chips, and processed snacks, can considerably increase sodium levels in the blood. This predisposes to high blood pressure and increases the risk of heart disease and stroke, which is why it is of great importance to limit salt intake once we hit our 50s. In the New England Journal of Medicine in 2014, the effect of sodium on the heart was observed. It was estimated that high sodium intake was responsible for 1.65 million deaths due to heart disease globally each year. Additionally, it was found that reducing sodium intake by just 1 gram per day could reduce the risk of heart issues by 30%. Number 7. Artificial sweeteners. Even though artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin are often used as sugar substitutes to lower sugar intake, some studies suggest they may negatively impact gut health. Artificial sweeteners have been found to increase cravings for sweet foods and potentially contribute to glucose intolerance. There is also ongoing debate about their long-term effects on metabolism and overall health. Number 8. Full-fat dairy products. Full-fat dairy products like whole milk, cheese, and butter are high in saturated fats, which can contribute to increased LDL levels, also known as bad cholesterol. The problem with this type of cholesterol is that it deposits on the walls of blood vessels and narrows their lumen, which is known as atherosclerosis. For this reason, full-fat dairy products increase the risk of heart disease and heart attacks. In fact, according to a 2018 study, Full-fat dairy products were associated with a 24% higher risk of heart disease, particularly among older adults who are more vulnerable to elevated low-density lipoprotein cholesterol levels. Number 9. Caffeine. While moderate caffeine consumption can be safe for most people, excessive intake can lead to increased blood pressure, insomnia, and digestive issues. Over the age of 50, we become more sensitive to caffeine, which can disrupt sleep patterns and contribute to anxiety. In a study, patients were made to have 400 milligrams of caffeine, which is equivalent to about 4 cups of coffee at different times before bed, and their sleep patterns were monitored. This study found that caffeine consumption 6 hours before bedtime reduced total sleep time by 41 minutes and significantly worsened sleep quality. So these were the top 9 foods you should never eat if you are over 50. Now, we want to hear from you. Which of these foods surprised you the most? Have you tried cutting any of them out of your diet yet? Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We'd love to hear them. Thanks for watching.